Hello, hello, hello. It's Sexy Saturday. Sexy Saturday. Let's have some deep conversations this wonderful Saturday. And we don't have to have a conversation necessarily with someone else. But I'm feeling that, with it being Saturday and sexy and all, I'm thinking that today is the day that we need to get raw and real with our situationships, with our love affairs, with our friends with benefits, all these different relationships we're having. And now it's coming a point where, there's someone we're trying to go ahead and set the intention with. And in that, there needs to be some tough conversations that we have with self. So come on in. I'm going to allow you guys to come on in. Let me know who you are, where you're from. I'm Coach Carla Nicole. I am on the planet to make things a little easier while we're going through what we're going through and helping people to just get more excited about being on the planet. How about that? Let's just be happy and um, more aware of what we got going on, okay? So come on in, have a seat, get comfortable. This is just off the cuff. I didn't plan for this one, so I was moved today to talk about this because I think, when we jump in to relationships or we develop into something and we just start going into the relationship, everything's cool, calm, collective, we're enjoying it, we're in love, we're feeling it. We're not paying attention to the fact that we got some stuff that we need to clean up. Um, when you are single, if I can be honest, when we're single, we have our arrangements. So we have our friends with benefits, we have our lovers, we have our gentlemen or ladies that come on by and say hi, and we have those, right? So once we're in a relationship, we're going to have to make a decision, not with someone else, but with ourselves. Are we going to be okay with pushback on this, or are we going to need to come to terms with the fact that maybe I need to just hold off? Maybe let's say hello, babe, how are you, welcome, come on in. Listen, we're relaxed today, but we're going to talk about tying up some loose ends. When we are in a relationship, or we're deciding now that we're in this relationship together, we're excited, we love each other, we're on it, we want to be together, what are we doing? Are we ready? Hey Steph, are we ready? Did we tie up the loose ends though? Because what is going to happen, my loves, if we don't prepare properly and we're not honest with self first, we really don't know how to explain to our new love how we do things, okay? So come on in, come on in. What am I saying? It's popular. It's right. Okay. So, check this out. So, we got to tie up our loose ends. When we're in a relationship coming up, if we're going to be in a full, now understand, I talk about all types of relationships. I'm not just talking about monogamous relationships. Of course, that's the most common, but I am talking about relationships across the board. Okay? So, let's first start with monogamous relationships. Now, if we're honest, we've had some setups that we had while single. We've had our people that stop by, we've had our lovers, we've had our friends with benefits, we've had all of that going on. And now we're ready to settle down. We done found the one. We done found our person. We are ready to solidify what we have. Okay, so now what do we do now? Well, Get comfortable. You might want to get a drink or something. I don't know. Get you some tea, get you a glass of water, something so we can think about this. We can't skip over some things. We got to be honest with self. This is the part we try to just hurry up and just think it'll just mull over because we're together now. No, that's not how it happens. We have to come to terms with it with ourselves first. So let's start with the people that stop on by, right? Shall we talk about them? The ones that we have a little fun with. We're not in nothing, but we're having fun with them, right? So we got those that stop on by, come on through, we're good, we have a good time or whatever. We spend a little time. Okay, well, what are we going to do with them? We need to talk about this now, not with them, but with ourselves. What are we going to do? Are we going to explain and sit them down that now we're in a relationship? Or are we going to kind of just be like, I'll just let it fade out. I just won't take their calls. I'll block them. I'll do this and that. That's fine. Now, if you do block them and just disregard them and don't talk to them again, just understand that just because you do that doesn't mean they're not going to cross this mind of yours. It doesn't mean that you're not going to go back and reflect on them again because you've done that. That's not what that means. That just means that you're in agreement with blocking them because you're wanting to be a good person and make that decision. But I'm helping you to get real about the fact that, yes, you may want to pull out of the relationships that you had, your friends with benefits, your lovers, or whatever. You have maybe wanted to pull out from your little people that come on by because now you're intentional. However, just because you block them, or just because you release them, or just because you don't say anything to them and you let them fade to black, does not mean that that person won't continue to cross your mind. Now, here's the thing. This is when it gets funny. It's not that they're going to cross your mind while you're in the relationship you're in and everything's great, fine, and great, and good love making and all of that. They're not going to be crossing your mind then. No. It's when turbulence happens. It's when the solar eclipse comes in and causes for differences of feeling enamored or in a lure with them. That's when you're going to start feeling uncomfortable. And so, again, because of that, we find ourselves in this mess where we're feeling uncomfortable. And that's fine. But I'm trying to help you to see, even though that's the case, understand that, ooh, I'm in a relationship now. What am I going to do about the loose ends? What are you going to do? Are you going to be okay with moving on? Because it's not about the fact that you're in something intentional and that you want to behave properly and you want to move forward and you want to have one-on-one and you want to be together with this person. But there's going to come a time when all the honeymoon phase starts to fade. And now you're going to get in those moments where you're feeling uncomfortable or you're feeling sad or you're feeling like, he doesn't really do me like this anymore. And I wish this and I want that. And that's when you're not actually understanding that if you don't come to terms with these agreements in your soul before you get in a relationship, then you're going to find yourself in an uproar over, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? So, like I said, tie up the loose ends. Now, when you have friends with benefits, the friends with benefits are even more deeper and tougher to kind of part ways with, because not only are you lovers, but you're friends too. So now that you're friends with your lover and you're needing to pull out the sex part with this friend, how are you supposed to do that? Can you do that? Can you explain, well, I am now in something new. I kind of want to be devoted to what I'm in now. And we'll have to remain platonic or we'll have to kind of part ways. And in that, you're still going to go through a mourning, a grieving, a process of loss. Because regardless of if you want to be with them or not, you'll realize that it's going to be something that you now have to evolve from. And again, these are things we don't talk about because we just only think about we're getting a new relationship. We're happy. We're excited. Everything's fine. And yes, it is. However, you must realize that we are human and we're going to have moments where we are moved by our past. Sometimes it kind of resurfaces and we don't know it's coming. And so when that happens, okay, so what do we do? So what we need to do is say, okay, where is it that I need to get comfortable in my spirit and soul to where I can make a decision to be like, okay, this is where I'm at with my friends with benefits. This is where I'm at with my exes. And this is where I'm at with lovers, past lovers. And why I'm telling you to do this, why I'm telling you to tie up the loose ends before you get into a new relationship, is because if you're not honest with you up front, you're not going to be honest with your lover either. And then in being dishonest, it's going to make it worse. So let's also talk about our exes. Now, exes are a little bit different because you were not only lovers, you were also in an intentional relationship with them. And then maybe the ending wasn't because it was completed, but because there was some violations, there were some disagreements, there was some dishonesty, there was some frustration and confusion. It could be a lot of things to where now in that love affair, you're feeling like, man, I want to move forward in this intentional relationship, but I do know that I'm going to need to sit down with my ex and talk to him or she about what it is I'm getting ready to go into. Now, here's what's deep. Normally, exes are usually the ones that shed the light on the one things that you don't want to face in your new decision to move on to a new relationship. Number one, they're going to ask you the difficult questions. And normally, when the difficult questions come up, the first thing we want to do is just avoid them. We don't want to look at them. We don't want to talk about them. We definitely want to hear about them. We don't want to hear what the ex is going to ask us to ask. We don't want to go down that road with them. And we'll look at it like they're a little judgy. But sometimes those questions are very, very valid. And it's not for you to try to make nice with or to talk to the new guy about or the new woman. It's for you to come to terms with it in yourself. So when they ask you something like, well, is this a person that is reliable? Are they dependable? Do they have a vision? Do they know what they want? Are they wanting you because of what you look like, what you're providing? Or do they want you because they see what you are? And are they truly into you, or are they just tolerating you? And those questions that your exes ask are always the ones that we get really offended by. Like, why are you asking all of these questions? Because you and I were together or what? It's like, no, I'm just looking out for you. I just don't want to see you get into a relationship and you're not looking at certain things. And then we get offended, right? So this is why I'm saying, rather than going down this road with an ex that you might get offended by, you may want to ask yourself those tough questions. Because in all that we deal with, especially with relationships, we have a tendency to get very offensive when someone's questioning what we're doing or who we're doing, if you know what I mean. Well, why would you want to pick that one? And you got all these other options. Why him or why her? It's like, well, we have something that I think we can actually build with. Okay, that's fine, but we got to tie up the loose ends. So here's what's deep. I noticed that sometimes when dating, and I don't even really like the word dating, nor do I even like dating anyway. I just don't think I just think it's more like an interview process more than it's actually effective. But anyway, when we're in the beginning stages of dating and getting to know someone we want to be with, a lot of times we get so caught up in how they make us feel. We romanticize about the you and I and what our plans are going to be and how great it's going to look and all of these things. But never do we ever sit down and think about, well, wait a minute. Are we really on the same track? Do we really have a life scope? Are our souls in alignment? This is not something we talk about. We don't talk about soul alignment at all. That's not something that someone sits down and talks about. Where are our souls aligned? We don't talk about that. We know we're attracted to each other. We know we have a good time with each other. We know we laugh and we enjoy each other. But that's not enough long term. It might be fine for the right now. But when you're talking about going through challenges and life, when life be lifing, you realize that just being cute together or having a good time together isn't going to be sustainable on tough decision making, on financial collapses, on sexual problems. That's not going to be enough just because I'm attracted to you. That's not going to be enough. So we need to sit down and really ask ourselves the tough questions. So, with that said, if you're in a relationship right now and you haven't tied these loose ends up, I would strongly suggest you start to really asking yourself the hard questions. Am I really done with this one lover that I'm good? We have a great sexual energy with each other. Am I done with this person? For real. And if I am done, am I going to regret being done? Ask this now. Don't wait until it gets turbulent in your relationship or a soul eclipse comes darkness and you and he or you and she are going back and forth and fighting each other, and now all of a sudden you're looking through your phone to try to find your exes. Don't do that. Do it now so you can prepare. I'm always trying to help you guys to prepare for what you're not seeing because you're involved in a relationship and you're happy to be in it. But yes, I get it. But what are you going to do about that lover you really have a good rapport with? You guys have a real good slow dancing love affair going on. What are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? And look, like Sean said, you might really enjoy that Thundercat going on over there. Then what? So you have to be honest with you, though. And then, before we get caught up in that, let's talk about relationship dynamic. Oh, yes. You know I'm going to go here. I'm not pro monogamous. I'm not pro polygamous or polyandry or all these different types of styles of relationships. It's not about that with me. What I care about with all of my clients that roll with me and all of my people that rock with me, they know I care about, well, what if, first of all, is it functional? I don't care about what y'all got going on in there. Do you? If it's working, do it. However, whatever you got going on, you want it to be in a good flow, right? So check this out. We have to sit down and look at, is one enough for you? Okay. Do you guys need to get a drink or something before I go into this topic or what? Is one enough? Oh, good Lord. I know this is a hard one, right? Is one enough? Because we have to be honest. We have 8 billion people on the planet. So is one enough for you? Now, listen, I didn't ask this question with you amongst a whole crowd of people. I'm asking you to check in with you. Ask yourself this question. This isn't about what other people think. It's not about the societal norm. It's not about what your family says. I'm asking you to ask you. Is one enough for you? If not, and that's fine, because like I said, I'm not the person to be griping about what you got going on. If it's not enough, come to terms with this now before you go and hippity hop yourself into that relationship and you know good and god darn well it's not going to fit your taste. And don't bring and drag somebody with you and they're not going to be okay with you having freedom sexually or freedom in socially or freedom psychologically or freedom being cool and calm with other people, having friendships. All of this stuff needs to be established now. Don't wait until turbulence comes and solar eclipse comes and relationships on a plunge and you're not seeing eye to eye. Don't do it then. Do it now. Ask yourself the hard question. Is one enough? Do it now. This is the loose ends I'm talking about. because we are always in assumption that we know ourselves oh so well. We know exactly what we need. Okay, but that's not true. We're today years old when we come to looking at learning self and what we actually need. And as we age and as we grow and as we mentally get more solidified in understanding our soul purpose and what we're doing, we start to realize, ooh, what I thought when I was 20 isn't the same thing I think at 50. Can I be honest? Like I say all the time, I am a mother of two. I have a daughter that's 27 and a son 18. So I have children that, they love to pick on their mother. They think I'm hilarious and I do the most according to them. But I tell them all the time, look, how I rolled at 20 is not how I roll at 50. It's a completely different style now. So with that said, I need you to look at you and see in your age that you're at right now, is one going to be enough for you? If so, realize this is not about molding and shaping your relationship into what you desire it to be, but allow it to grow and evolve into what it is and how it will become. See, a lot of times we want to find out, oh, we're going to be together and we're going to be this, we're going to be that. And that's fine in your hopes and dreams and in your mind. But in real life, we evolve. Everybody does. The version of me at 20, looking at the version of me today, does not look the same at all. So again, when I'm looking at me at 20 years old, I'm like, well, I was thinking this. Yeah, but you don't think that no more now, do you? No, because what happens is we change, we grow, we see things differently, we get some life on us, we go through some changes, we go through some heartbreaks, heartaches, deaths, sadness, financial crisis, we go through all health conditions, and all kinds of stuff happens because nobody on the planet is immune to difficulties. There's just no one here on the planet while we're here immune to that. So with that, we have to be honest of looking at, well, what is it that we need? What is it that we desire? What is it that we want? What is it that we actually see as functional when it comes to relationships, right? So, like I said, ask yourself, is one enough? And don't ask yourself with judgy eyes. Just ask yourself with honesty. See, because I'm a realist, optimists will be very frustrated by me because I'm not real big about all the romanticism around love affairs. I'm beyond that now. It's like, well, it's fine to have a great love affair and everything's going well. I'm more concerned about, well, how will you handle the storms? Do you already prepare for, when you can't cover each other? Who looks out for who? Who's got who's back? I mean, we have to look at all of these things. And then in the struggles and the heartaches and the hurt, who is holding who up? What if you both are down? Then what? Do you have anybody that will come and cover both of you because they care about not just you, not just him, not just her, not just him, but the you and him or the her and him? So how is that already in place? But we never look at the storms coming. We just look at the beautiful sunrises together and we're all happy and everything's wonderful. But when it comes down to the realistic part, we have to get real about what it is, not what we want it to be. So, in closing, I really want you to think about this. In relationships, it doesn't matter what kind you're in. It doesn't matter if you're in a monogamous relationship or a poly relationship. It doesn't matter. Because if you didn't study and learn the dynamics of a monogamous relationship and you jump into a polyamory or a polygamy relationship, you are going to be completely unequipped with knowing how to handle it. Because no matter what relationship you're in, you're going with you. So it doesn't matter. You have to get beyond wondering, well, is that the relationship type I want to be in and all this? No, you don't know. First, you have to know what your capacity is. Do you know that? Our capacity for relationships is not based upon how many people we can deal with at once. It's not just that. How many people are you 10 toes in with? Which means, how many people are you willing to give a house key to? How many people are you willing to put on the emergency crew at the hospital in event something goes wrong with you? How many people do you trust for real in the event you can't speak, that they speak for you? This is where it gets sticky. Because yes, making good love and being great and having a good time and being functional and having fun together is all cool. But when the times get tough, who can you trust? This is where it gets interesting, because we got to see beyond I'm in love, but we got to look at realistically who really would benefit the most with me being in their life. Am I an asset, or am I just tolerated because of their condition? Would they be with me or not really? They're just with me because they tolerate me? This is stuff you got to ask yourself. This don't have nothing to do with answering it for them or asking them. This is about you, for you, so that you understand some people just tolerate you because they just are in that space of wanting a relationship and wanting to be chosen because they're in maybe a bad scenario or they're in a bad situation. And you, my love, happen to be their peace. You happen to draw them into a joy. And even more so, you're happening to pull them into a soul allure. And you know what that is if you've been on the channel. So when you have this draw of soul allure and you're really pulled in with them, is it that they're pulled in with you as well? Like I said, in closing, think about this. Relationships are beautiful if they are in alignment with what you're trying to do with each other. If you really want to be together, that's wonderful. And you intentionally state to each other, we are going to do this. That's wonderful. However, it's deeper than that, because we're not talking about just that. Where are they as far as loose ends? And loose ends that I brought up today is about relationships, past relationships, exes, friends with benefits, lovers, all of that. What are those loose ends? Have you tied them up? Have you taken care of them? Have you made sure that they're good or not? If not, I understand that. But if not, that's the case, then you need to just understand that that's what it is. However, you got to look at this for real with self. This is a part of soul studying. Remember, I tell you, I get on you guys all the time. You have to study you, because it's easy to look and make judgment on your lover about what they're doing and what they're not doing. However, when it comes down to you, have you tied up those loose ends? Is your ex still in the mind of you or not? Are you okay with walking away from a lover you've been getting it in with for a long time and you have a very good sex life with, but now you're deciding to pull out? Okay, but are you going to be okay with that? Because we all say we will be until we do. And then in our current love affair, things go left, and then we're finding ourselves in memory of them because we didn't have the difficult, hard conversation in the beginning. I'm just saying. Think about it. It's very important to think about this. Don't wait. Do it now. And like I said, if you have someone that you're intentionally want to have a relationship with, that's fine. But again, you know that you have some friends, you got some lovers, you got some exes, and the stuff isn't done. You know it's not. You know if they come over there, it's going to be all she wrote. And now you're trying to figure out, well, what am I supposed? I feel guilty now. I should have said something. Do it now. Don't wait, is what I'm telling you. Because if you wait, the loose end is going to be a mess. And you have a high propensity and a high likeliness that the new lover may sit back and get offended, or may sit back and pull out and be done with you. And you don't want to put your relationship at risk like that, especially if you haven't had a conversation with yourself, knowing that actually I have room for more than one person in my life and I want more than one. Okay, then that's a whole nother conversation you need to have with yourself. This is all very important, but don't do it when you solidify something with someone and then you come to find out later, well, I actually have a bigger heart for more than more than one man, more than one woman, and now I don't know how to handle it. I don't know what to say to the person that thinks I'm just wanting to be just with him or her. Well, now you're in a mess because you waited until you're now in this thing for real, and now they are thinking it's one thing and it's not, because you haven't taken the time to study you before you signed up for this new relationship, and you allowed it to evolve too quickly, and you didn't give yourself time to know, well, I don't know what I'm okay with. I'm not even sure. I'm still learning me. Well, tell them that too. You'll get more respect when you're open and upfront with them, because they'll come to realize that it's much more joy that you are honest. And the honesty isn't about them, that you're honest with them, but you're honest with you. Because when you're able to convey and express certain things, that's clear that, hey, I'm not sure, I'm still learning myself. I don't know if I can solidify anything. I don't know. When you're very clear about that, they can then let you know, okay, I'll give you your space and let you figure that out. And when you, if and when you decide that I'm someone that you want to solidify with and be one-on-one with, then we can talk then. And then that allows them the exit to go, and then you're not feeling away. But if you string along someone and they think it's one thing and it's not, because you're still uncertain about what you're wanting to do or how you're wanting to do it or what your capacity is in your soul, heart, and mind for this person and maybe perhaps other people, then you, my love, is putting not only yourself at a risk for being frustrated in your dynamic, but then you're not as joyful or in a high allure with them, because now you're frustrated because there's still some other things you want to explore. And it may not be with them, but someone else. And so now you want this new this new dynamic, and you're not really clear on what to do with this new dynamic. And it's very difficult when we sit down and look at it, but we have to be honest with self first. And once we're honest with ourselves, we start to build a new confidence in what we want to do and how we want to do it. So now, with that said, if you're kind of curious, I mean seriously curious about, I don't know what I want to do yet, text the number 844-594-7366. It is the wisdom line. The wisdom line is here for those of you that just want to get a little clarity, or you just want to make some type of decision and you're not really sure quite yet what to do, and you're like on the fence, and you've kind of talked to some people but they're not really gifting you with what you want. Check out my wisdom line, 844-594-7366. Text it and just say, hey, I watched you on live and I need some clarity. I just got a question. And you will get a response to where I will ask you just basic questions, and then I'll then offer you either a response via text message, or a response via audio, or a response video, or one-on-one where we can talk. So that way you can decide, well, I don't know what I want to do yet. I'm kind of on the fence about something. I get it. We all have stuff where we don't want everybody in our business. And some of us maybe don't want judgment from other people because they have all these things. They think, well, you want to do that, and why would you do that? And they got all kinds of stuff to say, and you just want to keep it private. Well, go to the wisdom line. That's what it's for. The wisdom line will help you to make a decision, privately. Nobody has to know. And you can type in there, hey, I just need some clarity. And we can work it out. Trust me. And that way it'll help you to kind of figure things out without it being overly exposed. You can keep it private between you and then just figure it out. It makes it easier. It doesn't have to require for you to be in a mess. 844-594-7366 is very simple, or 5 wisdom if you can't remember all those numbers. And that way you can just be like, oh, I'm kind of struggling with a woman, or I'm struggling with a man and I don't know what to do, or I'm really in too deep with this woman but I still got some stuff. It's like, okay, well, go to the wisdom line. That's what it's for. Go to the wisdom line and then type up, I need some clarity. That's all you have to do. You'll get a reply. The reply will say the few questions you got to answer, and then you let me know what you want. What's going on? It's not that big of a deal. We all have stuff we don't want everybody to know our business. There's certain things we don't want everybody to know. We can't tell everybody everything. And I always even tell my daughter, who's in her own love affair right now, I tell her, baby girl, keep it private. And I tell him the same thing. Keep y'all stuff private. Do not expose it. Do not let other people know. Not everybody is going to be happy with your happy. Keep it quiet. Keep it private. What you and I talk about in your relationship or your certain type of situations you got going on, I'm not going to judge it. For what? I'm going to help you. Okay, so what's going on? And then you say, well, look, I got 2 ladies. I love them both to death. I really like her, but I don't know what she's going to do if she finds out about this other one. And I really am into this other one, but I've been with this one for a long time. We've been on our friends with benefits for a long time. What should I do? We will go through the process so that it's not constantly a back and forth. And then ladies, if you got a gent that comes on by, a mister comes on by, and he happens to slip through every now and then to take care of that, and then he leaves out, listen, we'll talk about him. What are we going to do with him? Are we going to keep him or not? And then in that position, what are we going to do? Because it's easy to talk about, I want a relationship. I love having a actual one-on-one. But I still got my stuff. As an example, I still got people I still want to be cool with. I don't want to lose everybody. Then you better be honest with you in the beginning. And then that way, when you're honest about that, you can sit back and say, okay, let me tell them that I am someone that has an open heart. So in that, are you okay with that? Or is this going to be a problem? Can we flow regardless? I mean, what is it? And this will help you to be able to be more clear, because I say it all the time and you guys know this. Soul studying is what this is today. We must study our souls. When we study our souls, we learn so much about what it is we need, and then also what it is we need to come to terms with and need to get more clarity on and need to sit down about. Not with someone else, with ourselves. Because a lot of times we don't own that we got some things we don't want to face. We have a lot of these new trigger words out here. Well, I'm an avoidant, or I have a tendency to not want to bring stuff up, or I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. And we got all kinds of things, or those are trigger words. And we got all kinds of stuff that we use in our vocabulary because now it's popular. But let's be honest, there are some things we avoid. There are some emotions that cause us overwhelm. It's true. But how do we get past that and come to terms with making a decision? When do we get to the point where the decision needs to be made versus sitting on here and still figuring that I don't know what I'm going to do? Well, it's time to come up with some type of solution. You can't live in limbo like this. It's not going to be good, because what's going to happen is you're going to end up in drama. Who wants that? Be honest with you first. So again, tie up the loose ends. Tie them up with your friends with benefits. Tie up the loose ends. Tie up the loose ends with your exes. Tie up the loose ends. Tie up the loose ends with the lovers. Tie them up, please. Because if you don't, you're going to find yourself in a mess. And now some people get hurt, harmed, confused, upset, and nobody's getting nothing but madness. And we don't need this. Life's too short for that. So let's come to terms with it now. And like I said, go to the wisdom line. It's nothing but your energy to type in, I need some clarity. And then you'll get the questions back to you. And then we'll figure this thing out. There's no sense in sitting on it and just keep hovering over it like it's just going to fix itself. It's not. You have to fix it. I know it's not easy to face, but you're going to have to fix this. It can't continue to be in this condition. You can't continue to have all this madness and back and forth in your own head trying to figure it out. It's a lot. So, like I said, tie up the loose ends, man. It's not hard. It's just going to require effort. It's going to require time. It's going to require some chess playing because you're going to have to figure out, well, what is it that I really want? And then being able to say it without feeling wrong. You know, if you really care about this person and you really want to have it to have some type of longevity, then just know that if you really want a love affair to last a long time, you got to have uncomfortable conversations. It's inevitable. There's no way you're going to be in a long-term relationship with somebody and not have uncomfortable conversations. You're going to have it. And when you do, you're going to feel this moment of clarity. You're going to feel a relief. This is why solar eclipses are so important that I tell you guys all the time, when your solar eclipse comes over your relationship, it's to bring out to you what needs to be dealt with, what needs to be revealed. Not necessarily to end it, but sometimes just to get it refreshed, get it to grow. All relationships go through a growing pain, okay? You know, like even with my baby girl, you know, she'll come over all rigmarole, all her head is all over the place. And I'll say, oh, you all right? It's like, okay, whatever, baby girl. Just know that if you understand and I tell her just as sweet as I can, baby girl, all love affairs go through growing pains. All of them. No love affair, I don't care what kind you're in, and even the one with yourself, goes through growing pains. All of them. So as long as you're aware that your relationship will go through growing pains and growth spurts and all kinds of differences, understand that that's what it is. But after understanding that, believe in yourself. To be in a love affair long term is going to help you when you sit down and realize, oh, I have to be honest with me first. Yes, you be honest with you first. Because how can you sit down with your lover and tell them anything if you haven't had a practice time with you first? You have to say, I actually have struggled in my love affairs because I wasn't honest. Not with them, with myself. I didn't tell them the truth. So I'm spending most of my time trying to stumble over lies or figure out, well, what did I say? I don't know if I said that right. Should I say it this way or say it that way? No. When it comes down to it, tie the loose ends up. Are you with your lover still or not? Don't candy coat the question. Yes or no. Are you with the lover or not? Yes or no. Okay, if you're in the relationship with someone and you're still intimate with them, do you like to be in it or not? Yes or no. I'm giving you basics so it doesn't have to be colorful. Because we have a tendency to overtalk ourselves into madness. Just answer the question. Are you in it or not? Yes or no. Then when you come to terms with, yes, I'm still having sex with my ex. I'm still dealing with my ex. My ex still comes on by. My ex is still, doing this and that. Okay, why? Is it that you're enjoying it? Or is it because it's familiar? Or because you got some type of financial gain from it? What is the reason? Be honest with you, because when you're honest with you, you're able to build up the confidence to telling that ex if it's really ran its course then you can be honest with you and say, okay, it's ran its course. It's actually at completion, and it really was about 3 or 4 years ago, but I keep lingering it out because I'm afraid to let it go because I really kind of want to be okay financially. Okay, I get it. I'm not judging it. I'm just saying, if this is your truth, then own it because you can't get any better if you don't. Next, if you still have a friend with benefits and you and that friend, so called, you two are still intimate and you are wanting to have a full on relationship with this new person, and you know this new person will not be okay in the friendship with benefits, then you need to come to terms with explaining to you, are you okay with giving it up? Yes or no. Not maybe, not well, I can a little bit. No, yes or no. If the answer is I don't know, okay, thank you. If you don't know, then let's sit down into understanding why you don't know. Because I'm not taking you through a rabbit hole. I'm telling you why it's important for you to come to terms with it so that you can elevate out of it, so you can make a better common decision in your renewed relationship you're trying to have with this new person. You got to come to terms with it now. You don't want to wait, okay? Now, lastly, do not forget about the exes. What are we going to do with them? Come to terms with it. What are you going to do with this ex? This ex still kind of still has it, still checks your tire pressure, still mows your grass, still empties your dehumidifier. The ex is still doing the stuff that he was doing when you were together. So are you ready to let that go or not? Yes or no. Don't answer it with a whole bunch of extra conversation with it. Yes or no. Why I'm being so specific is because I'm trying to get you to come to terms with these lingering emotions now so that you can be more solid in expressing to the ex that is done. I don't want you to be in between a rock and a hard place and then you're feeling like, oh my God, this is so hard for me to just walk away. It's like, I get it, but I need you guys to be okay with understanding that you better know it now versus waiting until the relationship is over and then, oh my God, I should have never. And come to terms with the raw truth. Okay? I'm helping you. Like I said, everybody's not going to be happy with your happy, including the ex, friends with benefits, and lovers. They're not going to be happy that you are now wanting to move forward in an intentional relationship with someone. You're not going to be happy with it. I'm just letting you know now. So let's get that off the books so that it doesn't become a turbulence that now your new relationship is having to deal with some loose end that is, and they're getting hit with ricochets that they shouldn't be. So let's get this out the way is what I'm saying. Let's deal with it now. Let's get it out the way so that everything is on a clean slate, and whatever you had going on before this lover you're with now is done and over with, or there's been a redesign to where there's not going to be a back and forth with it. That's what I'm saying to you. You have to be willing to allow for the redesign, or the breakup, separation. I mean, you know. So I'm just trying to help you to come to terms with this now. You don't want to wait till it's devastating and you're feeling overwhelmed because you just don't know. I want it to be to where you have it, where you can deal with it now. Don't wait. Don't wait until the lover's trying to figure something out and they feel away because now you're saying that you want somebody new. You don't know how someone else might take this. So you need to get this off the books now. If you have an ex that's been checking air pressure in your tires and stuff and doing all of that for all those years, even way after the love affair was over, and now you are wanting to get intentional, don't think that this is just going to be a, oh, by the way, I'm in a relationship now. Mm-mm. No. You're going to have to sit down and have a conversation. And that's not going to be easy at all, because sometimes when you still linger on in an ex with an ex, they start to feel used. Like, so you just used me the whole time, and now you want to get in a relationship with somebody new, and who is this dude? So now I'm telling you, you might want to just go ahead and knock this out the park now, because it's not going to be an easy scenario, because they may feel a way about this. So I'm helping you now to, if you have a new someone you're wanting to consider moving on up with, like the Jeffersons with, then you need to sit down and have a conversation. Not with them yet. I'm talking about with you. Get real with your feelings. Get honest. Don't just half-ass this. This is going to take some work. Not with them, with you. Because, see, I'm always big about building your awareness. It's easy to get caught up in, oh, I didn't know and I should have. And you want to get away from being regretful in this lifetime while we're here. You want to save yourself from a lot of regret. Do it now before that. Regrets happen because there was no real prep time. There was no hard conversation with self. And so when you don't have hard conversations with self, that ends up causing you to be in a whole mess of regret. And you don't want that. You want to be able to be like, okay, I made a decision. I'm going to share with you a love story from me that I have actually went through. So this was my first love. He and I were together for 7 years. We were together for 7 years, and he has just recently passed away. It was devastating for me. Not because of anything bad or anything like that, but he had told me when we were young, he was my first love. We had started, I was 17 and he was 20, and he and I were together for, like I said, 7 year span. Now, right around, I'd say probably 6 years out, I would say I started to realize that he and I were not going to be in alignment, because he kind of had a dedication to wanting to stay in that area. And for me, I just didn't have the same allure towards his vision he was trying to build. And so one of the hardest things I had to do was have that hard conversation. Long story short, I did have the conversation with him, and told him, I'm not in alignment with your vision, but I love you no less, because I do know that you are solid on what you're trying to do. I just know that I don't match it. But in that, I'm not coming to you in a foul way. I just wanted to let you know that the love is not that it's faded away. It's just that I'm not in alignment with the vision. So, long story short, we did end up parting ways. I ended up going on and moving on and marrying, my first husband. And then he ended up staying with his girlfriend. Now, remember I told you about loose ends, right? So, at the time, he had contacted me. This is after he and I were finished, and he's like, so I got this toss up between two women. And I'm like, okay, talk to me, what you got? So he tells me about, his two women that he was involved with. And I'm like, okay. So the first one was an ex-erotic dancer. She was beautiful. She had a plush, high, beautiful apartment complex, all white plush, just beautiful. She was beautiful. And then he had the other one that was more, we'll just say she was more, she was more modest. She was conservative. She was more down to earth. It wasn't as racy and sexy and all that, but she was really down for the cause. And he says, so what do you think? I said to him, from what I see, I think you should pick the second one. And he looked at me. He said, why? I said, that other one's going to have you in jail. We laugh about it. We laughed about it after this. I said, you can't do that. This is not going to be a good harmonious relationship. Not because she's a dancer, not because of any of that, but it's because of the fact that I know for a fact that you are going to be in a mess. So for you, I want you to choose better and pick a person that is going to be more suitable for what you're trying to build. After all of that, he did end up picking the one that I encouraged him to pick. And he did end up staying with her for his whole lifetime, the rest of his lifetime. And they have beautiful kids and everything worked well. I said all that to say, you don't have to make it to where it's ugly because you part ways or because you can't do this anymore. You can do it in a way that you can love them out. You can tell them, I care about you. I just can't go the rest of the way with you. We've completed our journey here. We did everything we did. We had a great run. I care about you to death. And do that and care about them and do it well. And once you do that, you'll see like, dang, this actually worked pretty well. And it did. So I just wanted to share that with you, so just so you understand that I'm telling you this from experience. You don't have to just linger on and be nasty to each other. You can actually complete a love affair with love. You can tie up a loose end and move on in life and have a great exit plan and still be decent to each other, still look out for each other, still care about each other, and redesign it. It can be done. So like I said, just know this. Tie up the loose ends so that you're not feeling a way about it long term. And then, trust me, you'll be definitely grateful that everything went okay. Again, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm Coach Carla Nicole. And if you need me, don't forget that you can contact the 800 number by texting 844-594-7366. Hey, Coach, I need some clarity. And I will shoot you over the questions and let you you and I can figure out what works best for you. Hey, I'm so glad you guys stuck with me. Like I said, share the video, watch it again later because it was a lot I went over. But I appreciate everybody that was here. I'm out of here, guys. It's your coach, Carla Nicole. Have a good night.